First of all, your name?
Jim Reed. I went by Jimbo because that's what the coach called me. It was my nickname when I was a kid in junior high.
Tell me a little about Coach Granger, how you got to meet him and what it's done for you through life.
Well, he was my first coach. He was the coach. And I met him when I was in sixth grade with a little group called Pete Inkers football, and then graduated up to seventh grade and played football and basketball and ran track for him. And off to high school, and he went to West Orange, but we stayed in touch. And he was an inspiration to me because of his integrity and the fact that he did things the right way, and he treated us greatly, just great, like a dad. And he also took us on trips, took us to places we would never get a chance to go. With our families, we didn't have a lot of money, and Coach exposed us to other things outside the Liberty County in Cleveland, Texas, and really kind of set me on my way. I ended up graduating from college after running track in college and went in the Marine Corps and ended up staying for 30 years there. And quite frankly, my leadership style for those 30 years were modeled on the leadership I learned from Coach Don Granger, the coach.
Some of the funny things you can think of coming back then. I mean, I was hearing a minute ago you were talking about there's only 3 ways to do things.
Oh yeah, Coach always taught us there's 3 ways to do things. There's the right way, the wrong way, and the Granger way. And we're going to do things the Granger way when you're working with me. And that was it. He was a fantastic man, impacted our lives in ways that we just can't explain in words, and we'll always be beholden to the impact he had.
Any funny stories that you can think of him?
Well, we went on a trip, took us out of the state, because some of us hadn't been out of state before, and we went over to Louisiana and got him to take us to Pensacola, Florida. So we were down at the pool, and he'd usually say coach and everything, and we noticed over there that he had gravitated to a very attractive young lady, blonde hair, beautiful Florida girl, and to make sure we kept interrupting him and everything. There, one of our buddies that was on the trip was jumping up and down on the board screaming, hey daddy, well, look at us, look at this. And the coach would just turn around and push his arm out to us like, go away guys, sort of thing. And it was a great sport, but more than that, he treated us just like his own kids in a way. We were his kids, I guess, since he didn't have any children.
How about some of these football games y'all used to go to? Quite a few of those.
Yes. My first trip to the Cotton Bowl was with Coach Granger. He took us on Highway 75. We met him over here near Grangerland, and he drove us up 75 to Dallas. We went to the Cotton Bowl to watch the Texas OU weekend, and then I went 3 or 4 games with him, to include the one in the Cotton Bowl game where Texas played the Naval Academy, and Roger Staubach was the quarterback in that game. And then to movies in Houston, he would take us out to see premieres of movies like The Alamo, Galveston to go swimming, Huntsville State Park to go swimming. And my dad and mom were working, and they couldn't take us to those places, so we got to go because of the coach.
You don't see coaches doing that anymore?
No, not anymore. You can't get away from that. I know the family, our mom and dad, all the kids in Cleveland trusted him, and so we got to go do things that other kids nowadays don't get to do because of just a change in.
Okay.
Well, one of the reasons I had a chance to sort of pay back the coach for all the things that he had given us, and I was stationed at Texas A&M as a colonel, running the Navy Marine ROTC program as part of the Corps Cadets, and invited the coach to come over and spend the day with me. We went to lunch at the faculty club, and introduced him to Randy Matson, who had been an Olympic shot put thrower champion, and we walked around campus, and one of the tours around, walking past a cadet that I was in my uniform. The cadet didn't salute, so I stopped him and asked the coach, excuse me a minute, went over and chatted with the young man for just a moment, very quietly and all, and the kid rendered me a hand salute, and I returned it back, and joined up with the coach, and we went on our way and everything. And then at his 80th birthday, where we had a gathering to honor his birthday and honor him, he mentioned that fact that occurred that day out of there, and that just goes to show you. I was able to say to him, I said, "Hey, Coach, the way I handle that was the way you would have handled it, because that was your leadership style. That became my leadership style."
He said he met quite a few people that day. He was really impressed.
Oh, well, he also came over when I took command a couple of years before that. I invited him to come over. Big to do to taking the command of the Naval ROTC unit. I got a chance to introduce him to the large group that we had assembled for the change of command, and to mention that he had served his nation in the Army, and that he was the reason I was where I was at today, because he was my coach, the coach, and that's what I always called him, the coach.